Imagine it's 20 years from today. You're sitting at your kitchen table, looking at your bank balance, and realize that you've done everything right. You went to college, you got the job, you worked the overtime. But there's a massive, gaping hole in your wealth, a literal $1,000,000 gap. And the most painful part? It wasn't caused by a bad investment or market crash. It was caused by a choice you made today in your 20s without even realizing you were making it. Most people think their biggest financial mistake is buying too many lattes or financed cars. It's not. Those are symptoms. The real mistake, the silent killer of wealth, is something far more deceptive. It's the invisible thief of your most precious asset, and once it's gone, no amount of hustle can ever buy it back. Hi everyone, I'm Claire West. I'm a profit advisor and financial strategist. My career hasn't just been about crunching numbers in high-rise boardrooms. It's been about dissecting the psychology of wealth. I've seen millionaires lose it all and ordinary earners build empires. But more importantly, I've been where you are. I've made the mistakes I'm about to warn you about, and I've spent the last decade perfecting the frameworks to ensure my clients, and now you, don't have to learn the hard way. Today, we aren't just talking about money. We're talking about the architectural blueprint of your future. Let's get straight to the heart of it. The biggest financial mistake you can make in your 20s is the devaluation of time. Now wait. Don't roll your eyes. This isn't a cliché lecture about starting early. This is about the mathematical brutality of compound interest. In your 20s, you possess a superpower that a 40-year-old billionaire would give their entire fortune to possess: time horizon. When I was 23, I landed my first big role. I felt invincible. I thought, I'm young. I have decades to save. Right now, I need to live my life. I spent my bonuses on designer clothes and expensive dinners because I believed that wealth was something you attain later in life. I fell into the trap of thinking that my 30s and 40s would be for investing and my 20s were for consuming. This is the greatest lie of our generation. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 20, by the time you're 60, assuming an 8% return, you have nearly $1.6 million. If you wait just 10 years and start that exact same habit at age 30, you end up with about $700,000. That 10-year delay, that "I'll start later" mindset, literally cost you $900,000. The mistake isn't just not saving. The mistake is failing to realize that every dollar you spend on lifestyle in your 20s is actually costing you $20 in your future. You are trading your future freedom for present vanity. But let's go deeper. Why do we do this? It's because of lifestyle creep intertwined with an identity crisis. In your 20s, you are finally making your own money. For the first time, you have purchasing power. Social media feeds you a constant stream of what a successful 20-something should look like. The European vacations, the sleek car, the luxurious apartment. You start to link your identity to your spending. I remember a specific breakthrough I had with a client. He was 26, making 6 figures in tech, but he was living paycheck to paycheck. He told me, "Claire, I have to live in this neighborhood and drive this car to be taken seriously." I looked at him and said, "You are spending money you haven't earned to impress people you don't even like to maintain an image that is keeping you poor." The mistake isn't the car, it's the opportunity cost. When you lock yourself into high fixed costs, a high rent, a car payment, you lose your financial agility. Your 20s should be the time you take risks. You should be able to quit a job to start a business or move across the country for a better opportunity. But if you are burdened by lifestyle debt, you are a slave to your paycheck. You've built a golden cage before you've even learned how to fly. Now let's talk about the mistake people make when they actually start saving. It's the mistake of excessive caution. Many of you were raised with the advice, put your money in a savings account. In your 20s, a traditional savings account is often where wealth goes to die. With inflation running at 3% to 7% and your bank paying you 0.01%, your safe money is actually losing value every single day. The mistake is not understanding the difference between saving and investing. Saving is for emergencies. Investing is for wealth. In your 20s, your risk tolerance should be at its peak. You have the time to weather market volatility. When I started my first firm, I was terrified of the stock market. I kept everything in cash. I thought I was being responsible. In reality, I was losing tens of thousands of dollars in potential growth. Wealth isn't built by working for money. It's built by having your money work for you. If you don't learn how to put your capital into productive assets, stocks, real estate, or your own education, you are choosing a life of permanent labor. This leads me to a narrative shift. Most people think financial mistake only refers to cash, but the biggest financial mistake of your 20s is often ceasing to invest in your own skill set. Society tells you that once you graduate, your learning is done. You have the degree, now you just work. This is a catastrophic error. Your 20s are the time to become a value machine. If you spend $5,000 on a vacation, that money is gone. If you spend $5,000 on a high-level certification, a public speaking coach, or learning a high-ticket skill, that $5,000 can increase your earning potential by $20,000 or $50,000 every year for the rest of your life. The ROI, or return on investment, on yourself in your 20s is infinitely higher than any stock market return. Don't just save your money, allocate it. Allocate it towards becoming the version of you that commands a higher price in the marketplace. Now let's get tactical. Credit cards. I'm not one of those advisors who tells you to burn your credit cards. Credit is a tool, but the mistake 20-somethings make is using consumer debt to fund lifestyle gaps. If you are carrying a balance on a credit card at 20% interest to pay for a brunch or a pair of shoes, you are committing financial sabotage. There is no investment on earth that consistently pays 20%. By carrying that debt, you are essentially giving away your future wealth to a bank for a temporary hit of dopamine. Break the cycle now. If you can't pay for it in cash, you can't afford it. The only exception is good debt, debt that allows you to acquire an asset that grows in value or generates income. Anything else is an anchor tied to your feet while you're trying to swim to the top. So how do we pivot? How do you ensure you aren't that person at the kitchen table 20 years from now? First, you need to automate your wealth. Don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left over to invest. There will never be anything left over. Pay yourself first. Set up an automatic transfer to your brokerage account the day your paycheck hits. Second, define your enough. Decide what lifestyle actually makes you happy, not what looks good on Instagram. If you can keep your big expenses, housing and transport low while your income rises, you create a wealth gap. That gap is where your freedom lives. Third, shift your perspective on time. Stop saying, I'm only 24. Start saying, I have a 40-year runway. Every $100 you invest today is a seed for a forest. Don't eat your seeds. Your 20s are not a throwaway decade. They are the foundation. The mistakes you make now aren't just small ripples. They are waves that will hit the shore of your 40s and 50s with massive force. But here's the breakthrough. You are already ahead of 90% of people just by watching this and thinking about these concepts. You have the awareness. Now you need the discipline. I've seen people turn their lives around in just 12 months by fixing these mistakes. I want you to be one of them. If this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop making these mistakes and start building real, sustainable wealth, hit the subscribe button and join our community. I'm Claire West, and I'm here to help you turn your potential into profit. Comment below, what is one lifestyle expense you're going to cut this month to invest in your future self? I'll be jumping in to respond to as many as I can. I'll see you in the next video.